Andrew Lewis Middle School appropriately provided the setting for an historic announcement on August 9, 2013, as the City of Salem schools welcomed Governor Bob McDonnell and a host of other dignitaries to town. The governor recognized Salem's cutting-edge growth project research by awarding the division a state-high $850,000 grant that will now be used to provide up to $5,000 in incentives for the division's 302 teachers.
I'm so pleased to be with you today and have the opportunity to introduce to you the governor of our great Commonwealth, the Honorable Governor Bob McDonnell. I thank you for valuing teachers as leaders in this great state. He's demonstrated this through valuing the collaborative and highly participatory work my fellow teachers and I have done in the areas of student growth, professional evaluation, and strategic compensation. We are excited to hear your announcement today regarding Virginia's strategic compensation grant recipients. Our teachers firmly believe that our strategic compensation model will truly benefit the children we work with on a daily basis, as well as impact our teaching profession profoundly. Our teachers have worked diligently to ensure that student growth is the centerpiece of our strategic compensation model and have designed a model that empowers teachers to be more innovative and grow professionally in a collaborative environment. Along the way, we have been mindful of the culture of trust and collaboration established by those who came before us. That defines our school division, and it's at the core of our tradition of excellence. My peers and I celebrate teachers as leaders in the classroom and in a division that values our experience and our expertise. We see that the work that we are doing in these areas has the potential to elevate our truly heroic profession and ultimately maximize opportunities for all children in the state of Virginia. Thank you for embracing the work that we have done in these areas, and please continue to seek our input as you make decisions for the children of our Commonwealth. Finally, you have a really great understanding of the importance of providing every child in our Commonwealth with a world-class education. I see firsthand how children are the greatest resources that we have to offer in our great Commonwealth. And I personally applaud Governor McDonnell's work to ensure that all children have access to a world-class education in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Governor Bob McDonnell, our 71st Governor of the Virginia Commonwealth.
Thanks, Mary. You're awesome. That was really sweet. Thanks for the leadership on this. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thanks, Amanda. I really do appreciate it. Working mom of three, we have a lot in common. Twins, mine are boys, yours are girls. But I know what that's like, and so your husband deserves a gold star wherever he is today for his good work. I am really delighted to be here, and I thank you for coming up when we did the kickoff back in December for the education initiatives for this session. Because of your leadership and Dr. Siebert's, you allowed these teachers, Amanda and the rest of the team here, I know many of the teachers are here, to put together their innovative ways of being able to put together teacher compensation in a way now that I think is going to be a model for the state and beyond. And so I thank you for your leadership in breaking out of the mold and now things that we've adopted statewide. So I'm very grateful. We got great teachers in Virginia. My sister teaches across the mountain in Amherst. I've been there for a number of years teaching kindergarten, and I really think that's the key, is more excellent, world-class, dedicated teachers in great schools is really, I think, the key to having more people achieve the American dream. And that's a lot about what this announcement is here about today. I'm also glad to have our Superintendent of Public Instruction, Dr. Pat Wright, who's helped to fashion many of these reforms along with the team with us as well. And I understand that David Preston is here, your school board chairman. You actually went to Finland with the team, so thank you for doing that. We were looking for good ideas. We thought Salem was a great place to start, but we didn't end there. It went from Salem to New Orleans to Finland. and other places along the way. And all those ideas, along with the education forum that many of you participated in last year and just 2 days ago up in Northern Virginia, that was sort of the genesis of the ideas. Is the best and brightest from education in Virginia got together and said, hey, what about this? And that's how we generated a lot of these great ideas. But the one that we're talking about today all started right here in Salem, and that's why we're so delighted, Dr. Siebert and Dr. Jones, that you allowed us to come back here today to be able to talk about the strategic compensation plan. Now, you probably think I'm bringing a check. I think that's the real reason I got invited. But I do want to thank all the teachers in the division. I am told that I'll get to the check in a minute, but I'm told that there were more than 100 teachers in the district that actually were part of this initiative, which is really just tremendous in finding more ways to use the compensation tools to achieve local strategic goals and to be able to incentivize a better performance. And I understand that's a third of the total staff that was involved, and I think that's why the ideas you came up with were so good. 3,000 hours of work dedicated to this, and came up with a model that holds teachers and leaders more accountable for student academic progress, but to make sure that those performance objectives are fair and empirical, and that everybody's got a fair chance to compete for these additional bonuses of up to $5,000. And I think you did a great job doing that. So Dr. Wright and her team have been working on implementing this over the last months. This was something that built on a merit pay pilot program that Secretary Fornash and I and the superintendent had put together in 2011 and 12 with a little bit of money, but we had some grants that affected about 700 teachers. We learned a lot from that, and a lot about the way these performance evaluation measures should be implemented, with some focus on student performance, because that's the bottom line, but also other things to make sure that one division might not get a favoritism over another division. I know that's still a work in progress. So today, I am pleased to announce that after looking at all these applications that have come in, that we're now prepared to make those awards. And the reason we wanted to come here as well is because the largest grant in the state has gone to the Salem School Division for $850,000 to provide... I notice your approval rating always goes up when you announce money. It's just amazing how that works. But Salem will get $850,000 now to provide these incentives, Dr. Jones, of up to $5,000 for just over 300 teachers who meet that individual and school division goals. And as you did last year, you'll be able to put together exactly what the right fit is for Salem. We'll have some criteria, but I mean, that's the beauty of this, is we're not sort of dictating a top-down, but you create the things that make the most sense for you. You know, our idea is that regardless of where you live and what your background is and what your ethnic or economic background is, the Virginia Constitution guarantees that we are supposed to provide a quality education to all people, and that's regardless of zip code or anything else. And that is the goal that we have pursued these last 3.5 years, which is why all the initiatives the Secretary has come up with have really been called all students, because no matter where you are, these incentives, benefits, and opportunities should apply to everybody. And we think it starts with a great teacher and a great classroom, which is why we've declared this year the Year of the Teacher statewide. Amanda's already mentioned some of the things we've done with teacher compensation and now these grants. We've actually, as part of the legislation this year, created a teacher cabinet to be able to advise the Secretary and the Superintendent at a very high level about things that affect teachers directly. We passed the Educator Fairness Act as well this year with broad support from the school boards and our superintendents that creates a longer probation period, specifies in greater detail the contract provisions and how the disciplinary process works and make that more effective, but also make it easier if teachers aren't performing at an excellent level to do the things that need to be done to correct that. So I think this innovative compensation model that you have put together here is something that incentivizes positive performance and positive behavior and clear incentives for teachers by creating this bonus structure now for teachers who will go above and beyond. And believe me, I know most of you, because I get lobbied by my sister all the time, are doing that, from buying your pens and pencils on your own to doing the homework, grading the homework on the weekends, to going in 3 or 4 weeks before school starts to get your lesson plans and your classroom ready for the young people. I mean, there's a lot that's going on already, and this will help to take that, I think, the next step. The fact that your system was teacher designed, I think, is the key to making it work, and that's going to be the model as well that we put in place statewide. It'll do a lot of good for a lot of kids for a long time, and I'm incredibly fortunate to end this my time as governor with such a significant reform that I believe years down the road is going to do a lot of good for the young people of Virginia.
At this time, I would like to say just a couple of words about one of what I think, whom I think is one of the most outstanding superintendents in Virginia. I've served in the General Assembly now for 6 years. I've represented 5 different counties, and I think 7 different superintendents because there was a retirement or 2. And I attend a lot of meetings around this Commonwealth. And the name that I often hear mentioned most, quite frankly, is the gentleman over to my right, the superintendent of Salem Schools. He's known as an innovator, a thinker, a creator, a leader, a monitor, and just one great good guy. Dr. Siebert, would you come to the platform, please, sir?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow. I thought 850,000 was pretty good. Good afternoon, and thank you all for coming. I've been asked to speak to what happened in Salem to bring strategic compensation to a statewide type of program. And so what I'd like to do for a few minutes is highlight the people, the conditions, and the history that made it possible, with a theme around 2 of the most powerful words in the English language: thank you. On behalf of the Salem City School Board and the people in Salem City Schools who have just devoted their lives to cultivating young lives, I say thank you. Also, I want to recognize my fellow superintendents and designees and their board members from other school divisions who were bold enough to apply. And I'm going to read the list, and I'd like for you just to kind of stand up. I know I've seen James and Scott and others. Cumberland, Lynchburg, Amelia, Dinwiddie, Fluvanna, Goochland, Harrisonburg, and Roanoke City. Please stand up if you're here representing those 5 school divisions. And thank you, Doug at Poindexter, for your remarks and for following the governor so that I could have a few minutes to let sink in that, we were thinking that maybe we're getting a grant, but to find out the full request of $850,000 has been awarded to the recognition of the innovative work of our terrific teachers. It's just wow. It's absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Governor McDonnell, for being here today, for your service to the Commonwealth, and for appointing a truly remarkable Hokie, the Honorable Laura Fornash, to serve as Secretary of Education. I know firsthand that Laura has helped advance both K-12 and higher education. My lovely and brilliant wife is here today, Michelle. She's research faculty at our beloved Virginia Tech, where she leads Career View, which is an essential career guidance tool for elementary and middle school age children, and it's helping advance another one of the Commonwealth's goals, STEM-H careers. It's beginning with very young children. Thank you to Javed. There, you're over there. Javed Siddiqui. Javed, you have brought a much needed and much appreciated point of view of the practitioner, of the former teacher, very recent principal, which I think has been very helpful from a policy perspective. Thanks also to the other elected leaders and members of your policy team who were willing to accept an invitation from a group of teachers last October to come to Salem and learn that our teachers had researched 17 different compensation models. Some of them exciting, some of them offensive to what we valued in our profession. But 17 models evaluated by teachers, and that team came down. And it's really kind of remarkable. I often complain about how slow some things can move. Less than 10 months. Less than 10 months ago, the team was here to learn about what we were doing, and here are grants being awarded. That's pretty impressive. The innovation recognized today, however, is just one of many positive outcomes that we enjoy in Salem City Schools by trusting and empowering remarkable teachers to solve complex problems and to innovate on behalf of the children they serve. Similarly, we're gratified that now we've helped demonstrate that school divisions can also help be a trusted source of answers, ideas, and insights for the common good of our Commonwealth. So Governor McDonnell, Secretary Fordash, State Superintendent Wright, thank you for coming. But our teachers want you to know that we have other innovative ideas that we would be happy to share, that we also would like to see emulated on a larger scale. Specifically, and Doug Poindexter was very gratified to hear you talk to the fact that we need new measures in terms of measuring students, specifically their progress and growth. The assessment work in Salem schools is really, strategic compensation is a small part of a much bigger piece. And you have to have the bigger pieces if you're going to get there. And the great work our teachers have done has really been in assessment by recognizing that achievement is one measure. Our SOL-like test, criterion reference test, that's one measure. But we needed other measures. So our teachers sought, and then our school board bought other assessments, authentic measures of student growth that really have made this idea possible with a high level of buy-in. Because the way you get the buy-in from teachers is you let them make sure that the measures are going to be accurate and important. Thank you, Dr. Wright, for the department's support in identifying these list of growth measures in March of this year. Just in March of this year, one of Dr. Wright's SUPES memos came out identifying a list of authorized, of approved growth assessments that the divisions can use. Thank you to our current and past citizens of Salem. This community, and I'm a recovering Yankee, okay, so I'm giving you this from a very objective point of view. This community has for generations placed a value on its children. And the families it attracts value children. And we have a quality of life cycle here. And it needs to be nurtured and it's fed, but it was built by people who came before us. And we're thankful for them. Thank you to our city council and administration. Mayor Foley is here today. And the city administration, the city employees, current and past. Salem has a historian named Norwood Middleton, and he chronicled in his book, Salem Chronicle, which is a good read, about how the Salem First movement began in the 1970s. It was a political movement in the 1970s, and it put this city on a nonpartisan trajectory toward excellence. And it was recently evidenced by the fact that we were named the 4th best place in Virginia to raise a family. That did not happen overnight. It happened over time by this community living its values. So we're very thankful for that quality of life cycle and the courageous leadership of our mayor and other city council members who make it possible. So thank you, Mayor Foley, members of City Council, for appointing and reappointing a phenomenal school board. Research bears out that stability in a school board and stability in division's leadership is correlated with high student achievement. And to appoint people who are truly, and thank you board members for being so student focused, for having no personal agenda, being devoted to doing the right things the right way without ever micromanaging. It is a great blessing to serve in a community with that type of board. Thanks also for setting really high expectations, because the pressure's on. We get good results, and we better keep delivering. And so thank you for setting high expectations of what you want through strategic planning, but trusting us with the how. The term strategic compensation comes from the idea that a board sets a strategic plan, and as an employer, it should have the opportunity to incentivize it, to accelerate its implementation. Thank you to our teachers and our leaders, and we have so many of them here today, it's wonderful, who serve children on the board's behalf. Our teaching is a calling. It is a heroic profession. And we've had a very high level of support, but it has not been unanimous. I've had many teachers along the way say, Alan, this is interesting, but I want you to know I answered a call to teach. It's never been about the money. And we got to honor and treasure that, or we lose life-changing power of teaching and learning. But we've also learned from experience that compensating teachers well is essential. In Salem, our secret sauce of the Salem way are our teachers. And when we were established in 1983, city leaders ensured that the resources were available and consistently available to recruit and retain extraordinary teachers. That's how you get teachers who can research and do this type of stuff. Thank you to our parents. We've got a lot of parents here today for trusting us to teach your children and grow them, and recognizing that growth of a child is supported by a three-way partnership of the parents, the school, and the child. All three must work hard. Even good schools and good school divisions cannot do it alone. Thank you, students. We have a number of them here today. You are why we do what we do. This is a big event, and we're gratified, but you are why we do what we do. We do it for remarkable children, to serve supportive parents, and to do it alongside committed professionals like we enjoy here in Salem and in a state like Virginia. Finally, I got to thank Amanda, because by golly, Amanda, you led all parts of the growth project. Vision. Leaders, we can have vision, but vision without action is just a dream. And you put the action to the vision and got the people involved to help bring this about. There are more people to thank, but I want to conclude by saying we're going to implement this grant very, very well. We have a steering committee of teachers who will help navigate the new waters. We will make mistakes. There are things we don't expect. But the teachers built it. They will navigate the challenges that come our way. We also have 3 faculty and researchers from my beloved Virginia Tech who are here today, who will be conducting an objective and empirical study of the work that we have planned. We will indeed successfully implement this grant. This grant period will conclude, but innovation in Salem schools will not. It's an exciting time in our profession. Education in our nation is being transformed from an industrial age mass assembly line to a place where the unique potential of every individual child is being unfolded, being developed, being cherished. Terrific teachers who serve in Salem are recognized as innovators in this work in the areas of individualizing instruction and measuring and reporting academic progress of every single child. This is forming a foundation of a more personalized experience for every student. This level of individualization will require more state-level reform, more local control, new approaches to assessment, liberation from start dates and testing windows. But like the innovation we celebrate today, I know that Salem's teachers and their colleagues throughout the Commonwealth are ready to help get the work done. And it's very gratifying for all of us in the profession to have been listened to. In conclusion, we have the people, we've had the conditions to make it possible. We will keep working, but we will keep using the very, very important words of thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Jones has a little something for you, Governor. We appreciate it.
Very inspirational. That's very good. Well done. Thank you.
Happy to help.
Thank you. That's very nice.
Governor, we just wanted to thank you for coming today. We appreciate your belief in 21st century learning and individualized instruction. This is from Salem City Schools and Andrew Lewis Middle School.
Oh, that's
Thank
great,
you very
Dr.
much.
Jones. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, thanks to everybody for coming and that warm welcome. And Dr. Siebert, that was a very inspirational and moving talk about what you've accomplished here and what your vision is for the future. And I thank all of you for not just accepting the status quo is good enough. And those of you that have come in the 13 divisions from around the state that applied for those grants, I know you will also make good use of those monies. More to come, too.